Can comics have the all-in-one approach where there isn't a pencil or an inker, but just a person doing art and they just get it done in one? Well, it's cost effective, but what's the end result? Hey, this is Perch. I've talked about the importance of inkers before, so this my topic here won't seem completely new. It reaches a lot of the same conclusions, but it is different. There's some different elements to it, and that's kind of the more common approach, or what's becoming an increasingly common approach, where there isn't really a pencil or an inker. There's just an artist. You look in the credits; it's one name, one person, and it's I don't know about you guys, what you think. I mean, at least from my perspective, I think the results speak for themselves, and the results are pretty poor the majority of the time. The art often looks rushed. There's a kind of lack of good anatomy. The backgrounds are often, computer generated or just non-existent. And I think the product that we have in hand is a far cry from good. Let's just put it that way. So why is this? Well, I mean, the very easy answer: money. It's it's a cost savings approach. In some cases, I've known some companies that have said, "Hey, basically, we're going to pay just rough numbers here, so we keep it easy. We're pay $200 for a penciler, $200 for an inker, $400 total for the art. If somebody wants to just do it all themselves, like, hey, penciler, if you want to do the extra work of also doing the inking, we'll give you 300. And the penciler is happy; they're getting more money. The company is happy; they just saved $100 per page, and there you go. That's kind of the general approach. It's not quite that easy. There is in some cases they match the salary. In some cases they don't. They just pay the penciler and that's it. But they tell the penciler, hey, we really need you to ink this yourself. And in some cases, I saw an email from an editor to an artist who was like, "Can you believe this garbage?" The editor is like, "Hey, we're not going to have an inker, so you are going to ink it all yourself, and no extra money. Just you're going to do this." And then with a suggestion of like, "Hey, have you tried using tools like Procreate or tools like that, where you can just draw the whole thing digitally, and you'll save you a lot of time, and there you go." It's I like that. It's like, hey, we can't pay for a proper, art team, so we're just gonna make you do everything. We're not gonna pay you more. And hey, here's some tools that will allow you to go faster. Now, the end product may look super crappy, but who cares? It's just comics. I didn't say that last bit, but that's how it feels to me. Anyway, that is it is definitely an increasing trend. It's a trend that's going to happen more, and kind of the pricing model I think is absolutely going to settle down to, using the earlier numbers, which is not just numbers for illustration purposes only. Pun. The rate's going to be, hey, here's $200 for the page. There's no anchor, there's no penciler, it's just $200. It's going to reset back to the original, and God help us, it may even go lower. Like, hey, you can use those digital tools, and those are faster for you, so we should be able to pay less. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where it went. It definitely feels like that's where it's going, and we're trying to cut costs across the board. So I mean, if you're a company and you have no basic care or pride in your work whatsoever, then why not? Why not just chop things up that way? Anyway, it's not good. I mean, the end result, I have never met anyone who is like, wow, I love this cheap, quick art that seems to have no style or substance and looks hacked together. Wow, this is wonderful. I wish we could get more of this. Strangely, nobody says that. The other thing is that it's breaking down some of the basic fundamentals of backgrounds and how characters are structured and other things. It's digital is a great tool. It's also a tool that you can copy and paste. And so if you're working with a writer who is, very word heavy, very bloated, very decompressed, not mentioning any names, but then you can just kind of draw one picture of a face and then just, copy, clone, copy, paste, and have a nice 9-panel grid with the same face over and over and over. Hey, you saved yourself a bunch of time. You don't have to draw that whole page. Isn't that awesome? And meanwhile, to the reader, it's like, hey, it looks like this person just copy and pasted the whole thing. That's great. Everyone's a winner. That is the world we're living in now, folks, with comics, and I don't see it turning around unless somebody is willing to say, maybe one of the publishers willing to say, "Hey, I'm going to take less profit. I'm going to go ahead and take less profit, and we're going to pay more, and we're going to get some good artists in here, and we're going to make it look right." I didn't mention the other kind of challenge in all this is when there's this push to go digital with the art. There is a guess what goes away, the penciled pages. And so for some artists, there was become a nice little aftermarket for selling some of the original penciled pages. It became a nice, additional form of revenue, and that goes away. It's funny. There's been plenty of people at Marvel over the years who wanted that to go away for some time. They don't like that kind of artist-driven aftermarket that they don't control, and so you remove that, and it's like, great, now we control the market more, and the artist has less to do, and it just takes one more dollar out of their pocket. So I think it's negative, really, really negative. The approach is bad. The comics look cheaper. I'm all in favor of it for indie books, things where there's not a lot of money and somebody's just starting up on their own. They're trying to figure things out. Sure, absolutely. Don't drive costs down for those people. That's a choice the artist themselves is making. Great. But there's value, from the video about inkers, there's value to having this kind of first draft, second draft of the artwork where you get it nicely tightened up. It looks better. You can catch a lot of errors, and it's better work. When you're trying to do it all in one, it's more rushed. It takes on, or even if you give yourself the same amount of time, it still takes on a rushed kind of feeling, and it's negative. So I think it's bad. What do you think? Leave your comment below. Love to hear what you think. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and thank you for listening.